I froze, the words sinking into me with an icy chill. There was something off about the way he said it, something that made my skin crawl. The house was eerily silent that evening. Mom had left for her night shift, and I was alone with Ryan, my stepfather. I hated being alone with him. His presence always made the air feel heavy, suffocating. But tonight felt different. Tonight he was acting strange. I had just finished my homework and was heading up to my room when I heard his voice from the living room. "You look tired, Emily," he said. "Long day." I hesitated at the top of the stairs, gripping the railing tightly. "Yeah, school was exhausting." Ryan nodded and patted the couch next to him. "Come sit. You should relax." There was something in his tone, something that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. But I couldn't say no. I knew better than to ignore him. So, reluctantly, I walked over and sat at the farthest edge of the couch. He studied me for a moment before leaning forward, resting his elbows on his knees. "You know, stress isn't good for you. A lot of tension builds up in your shoulders. I could help with that." I stiffened. "Help? How?" He gave me a small, unsettling smile. "A massage. Just to ease the tension." A knot formed in my stomach. This wasn't right. Something about this felt horribly wrong. "Come on, Emily," he said, his voice smooth. "It's just a massage. You'll feel better." Every fiber of my being screamed no, but my body refused to obey. Swallowing hard, I dug my fingers into the couch, trying to steady myself. The room felt smaller, suffocating. Ryan's eyes were fixed on me, unblinking, watching every move I made. I don't really need one," I stammered, forcing my voice to sound steady. "I'm fine." His smile didn't falter, but there was a shift in his eyes. The warmth drained from them, replaced by something colder, harder. He wasn't used to hearing no. "Emily," he said, his voice taking on a deeper tone. "You don't have to be shy. I used to give your mom massages all the time. She loved them. I'm good at this." That made my stomach churn. Mom trusted him, but something inside me screamed that I couldn't. I laughed weakly, trying to ease the tension. "Maybe later. I've got a headache, so I think I'll just go to bed early." I stood up quickly, too quickly, and I saw his eyebrows raise in mild surprise. I needed to get out of there. Turning to head up the stairs, I froze the moment his hand wrapped around my wrist. A sharp, jarring panic shot through me. "Wait!" Ryan's voice was softer now, but his grip was firm, enough to make my pulse race. I looked down at his hand, then up at him. His face was still calm, too calm, but his fingers were pressing too tightly into my skin. I had two choices: pull away and risk angering him, or stay and pretend everything was fine. I forced a smile, my stomach churning. Maybe just for a few minutes. Ryan let go of my wrist and patted the space next to him on the couch again. "Good. You won't regret it." I sat down, keeping as much distance between us as I could. My heart hammered in my chest, pounding so loudly I was sure he could hear it. He moved behind me, and I felt the couch dip under his weight. I squeezed my hands into fists, trying to hold it together. "Relax," he murmured. Then his hands were on my shoulders. The moment his fingers touched my skin, I locked up. His breath was warm against the back of my neck. Too close. Too much. "See? That's not so bad, is it?" he asked, his voice almost pleasant. I forced a laugh, but it came out shaky. "Yeah, I guess." But inside, my skin was crawling. His hands moved slowly, deliberately, lingering too long in one spot before moving to the next. This wasn't just a massage, it was possessive, invasive. I kept my eyes fixed on the television, pretending to be distracted. But I wasn't watching. My mind raced, wondering how long I had to sit there before I could leave. Would leaving suddenly anger him? Then his fingers brushed against the back of my neck. I flinched. "Ticklish?" he asked, chuckling. "Yeah." I lied, my voice barely above a whisper. "Super ticklish." He hummed, still massaging, still too close, still too slow. I couldn't take it any longer. I had to get away. "Hey," I said, trying to sound casual. "I think I'm gonna go to bed now." But thanks for the massage. I feel much better. His hands stilled. The silence between us stretched unbearably long. Finally, he sighed and pulled away. All right, he said. But next time, I won't let you run off so soon. I stood up quickly, offering him a weak smile before heading for the stairs. But I felt his eyes on me the entire way up. Once I was in my room, I locked the door behind me and pressed my back against it. My heart was still pounding in my chest. Something was terribly wrong. I wasn't safe. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, my body tense with fear. Every time I closed my eyes, I could feel his hands on my shoulders again, his presence too close. I needed to talk to Mom, but what would I say? Would she believe me? Would she think I was overreacting? My gut told me otherwise. There was something more to Ryan's behavior. I needed proof. Carefully, I got out of bed and tiptoed to my door. The house was quiet. Slowly, I cracked the door open, listening for any signs of life. Ryan was probably asleep by now, but I had to be sure. I crept down the hallway, my heart racing. I reached Ryan's study and found the door slightly ajar. I pushed it open, my pulse quickening. The room was dimly lit by the glow of his computer screen. Papers were scattered across the desk, but it was empty. No sign of Ryan. I hesitated, but curiosity pushed me forward. The desk was covered with bank statements, work documents, nothing unusual, until I saw it. An envelope. Trembling, I picked it up and turned it over. No name, no return address. Just an envelope. I opened it, my hands shaking as I pulled out the contents. Photos of me, taken from a distance. Some were from the backyard. Others were from my walk home from school. There were even some through the damn window of my bedroom. My hands shook violently as I flipped through them, each one more disturbing than the last. Some were months old. A cold, sickening feeling spread through me. This wasn't just weird. This was planned. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Getting closer. Ryan's voice, soft but clear, reached my ears. Emily? What are you doing? I spun around, my breath catching in my throat. There he was, standing in the doorway, smiling. And in that moment I realized I had made a terrible mistake. Emily, he said, his voice too smooth. What are you doing in here? I froze, the room closing in around me. I had no way out.